So I'm going to show you a way to use pre-cut Tenacio tape. If you don't have pre-cut, it's fine. You just need to cut some pieces that are around the same length right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to have somebody help you do this, because you're not going to be able to apply this to yourself. But you're going to start off by just bending the end of a piece of the tape, and then what you're going to do is you're going to break the paper on the back side. You're not going to hurt the tape, and then you're going to go ahead and peel that end piece of paper off. What that does is that gives you an anchor or a base to go ahead and put on. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this anchor or base, and you're going to find the outside of the shoulder. You're going to come down a few inches, and then you're just going to apply it right here. Rub it for some friction so that it adheres really well. Then you're going to take the tape and you're going to peel back the paper almost to the end so that you have another base piece. Hold the paper, not the tape. And then you're going to pull. If I could pull 100%, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I pull it about 40%. So I'm going to pull up, and then I'm going to come up and across to where the back of the neck is. Now I'm going to put this tape down right here, and I don't have any pull on that base. All of my pull is in the middle, and then I'm going to rub it. This is where we have, it's called the CT junction. You have that little hump kind of in the neck, and what I'm trying to do is get the top piece of my tape to kind of go right over that hump right there. And what that's going to do is give you some good support. What you can also do while somebody's applying this tape is have that elbow rested in a really good position here. Sometimes if we put it when that elbow's sagging, we don't get as good of support. So if your elbow is resting on an item, you're going to get a little bit better support with this tape. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to go ahead and break off a piece of paper on the back for our base. Pull that off. We're going to start on the outside, a few inches down on the outside of the shoulder. If you don't get that quite right, it's okay. All that matters is that you have it on the outside of the shoulder, somewhere in that region. And then you're going to take, after you get your base nice and secured with some friction, and you're going to pull up at about 40% up and across. And then you're going to again come to that CT junction, kind of where that hump is, and that top piece of the tape, so the top portion of it should be right on that junction. And then you want to rub this tape to make sure that it stays on nice and tight. Now that's the first part of the tape that you can do for some nice support. The second part of the tape that you can do is going to help with your posturing and shoulder. So we're going to get two more pieces, and we're going to take and break the paper off at the end again for a base piece. Then we're going to find the outside of the shoulder, and you're going to come right off the edge of the outside of the shoulder. And you can actually come a little bit on the front side if you want to. Just make sure when you put this piece of tape down that you don't have any pull on it. Sometimes the front of the shoulder and the side, we can have a little bit more sensitive skin, so we don't want to pull the tape in that region. And then after we get that base nice and adhered, we're going to come around, and we're going to come around kind of to where that shoulder blade is. We want to go across the shoulder blade and come right below where we've already put these two pieces of tape. So we're going to give it about a 40% pull here to 50. If you get a little bit more, that's okay. And then we're going to lay it down. And what that's going to do is that's going to help rotate that shoulder out. So when we put on this piece of tape here on the outside of the shoulder, I want you to make sure that your palms are facing forward so that when somebody puts this piece of tape on, you're going to get that good retraction in the shoulder blades. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to break off a piece for our base piece. We're going to take and we're going to put it on the front side of the shoulder, a couple of inches down. And you can see I'm not quite at the same level on each side, and that's okay. It's just the direction of the tape and the pull that you're really worried about. We don't want a lot of pull on the front of that shoulder. So I'm going to pull back the tape to give myself another anchor piece. And then I'm going to give myself a 40 to 50% tug on this tape, come across where the shoulder blade is, and go right below where that previous piece of tape is, and I'm going to rub that down. Again, the two end pieces of the tape, the very ends, you're not going to have a lot of pull on. It's mainly this middle section that needs the pull. Make sure when you're doing this piece across the shoulder blade that you have your palms forward, or if you're in a seated position that your palms are up, and that's going to help accentuate the fact that you have those shoulders back, and it'll help with that postural support.